I may have let Daphne believe that you were my dad.
Why'd you let her think I was your dad? I'm not your dad. You understand? I need you to understand that I'm not your dad. I'm nobody's dad.
You don't have to be so mean about it.
I'm not being mean. I'm just a little upset. I just need you to understand that I'm not your father.
I know, but you talk to me and you listen and you give me advice. And you liked all my posts.
Well, I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding, but that was not my intent. Come on. Where you go? Where you going? Where you going? Come on, Lily.
Bob Trevino Likes It. I became aware of it because the Film Threat guys, it was a film that they kind of really kind of loved and championed. And I saw it was on the Channel 4 player, so kind of gave it a go. And it's, it's really kind of sweet, lovely film. Just from the setup, you kind of know that. But then, kind of it's got some charm to it. I mean, there is a little bit like, there's, the gay black disabled friend, and stuff like that. That's a little bit like it's ticking boxes. But other than that, it just feels like a really kind of, real world sweet sort of drama with the unique setup to it. It's maybe kind of, and it's got a little bit of grit to it that kind of, doesn't make it too schmaltzy, or maybe it's kind of done in kind of a, it's crafted in a nice way for it not to feel too schmaltzy. But it was a really kind of lovely, enjoyable film. But the thing that really stood out for me is I was not aware of Barbie Ferreira at all, and she kind of really does kind of steal the scene in this. She's really interesting and charismatic. She pulls off the dramatic stuff, and she looks like a normal person. Yeah, she's just great. And then John Leguizamo, I think he's in so much stuff. He's a little bit devalued, really, but occasionally you'll see him in things and he'll just really kind of pop out, and you realize, oh yeah, there is a reason why he works so much, and it is because he's such a powerhouse, really. So yeah, Bob Trevino Likes It. I'd recommend it for a really kind of sweet, thoughtful, light-hearted watch. So yeah, give it a go.
Mbuya. Ninaba shula.
Kani shula.
Naba mpele ibumba dia baka bwalala. Namba shishi bila panangu mason defa mungu furisha kom mbula pomu.
Yo black. Akwata no mwento na tuna me mo. Lelo sa mu ka te lelo le sa te bule mo na lelo le sa te. Ano le sa me so pan. Yo mi ka te ni.
Namba
Wine, mu ka te.
namba ba black bari batatu.
Na kwata mwento na tuna me so. Na kwata mwento le mu ka te ni no wine mo ba.
Umozi pali wa malingala imwendi anapa. So tizafunsa mwana kambira paja tizafunsa kulingana mwana kambira wa mzimu azasonta wapo palimu amene anaba. Timvesesa? Okay. Good. Naso ayimile pali wa mamba.
When at the time of I'm Not a Witch came out, I was aware of it. It got a lot of hype, and I think it was like nominated for British Independent Film Awards and things like that. It just kind of it glided by me, and I didn't really notice it. But then the director's second film came out about a year or so ago called On Becoming Guinea Fowl, which kind of popped on my this popped up on my radar again then. So yeah, I decided to go back and just watch her first film. And it's sort of difficult to talk about. There's another really great, film set in Africa about kind of, like witchcrafty kind of culture, and it's difficult for me to talk about because I don't know what is like this hyper, stylized, critique on sort of this superstitious culture, and then how much of is this actually kind of what African culture's like in terms of it being so superstitious. but yeah, this is kind of a watch that I've really found kind of sort of quite unique, and it's obviously a commentary on how sort of women are just kind of persecuted so heavily in some parts of the world, but kind of a really kind of presented in quite a unique and very kind of funny and dry way. Yeah, and I would definitely recommend it as a watch to kind of to have. Kind of a lot of humour in it, despite it also being quite cutting.
I'll send it to you.
I've been on a bit of a kick lately for experimental or impressionistic documentaries, and Tokyo Olympiad was kind of one that sort of popped up on my radar, and I did love it. It is, it's by no means a conventional documentary, but it's maybe not as far out as I was expecting. I was maybe thinking of something that was going to be a bit more like Koyaanisqatsi, and it's not that, but it is, like certainly it is done in an unconventional way, and it's got these beautiful kind of telephoto shots in it, and it's kind of pieced together really well, and you kind of, without it having a voiceover, it does have like a kind of you get these little kind of vignettes and stories within it. But what kind of dawned on me as watching it is, now we take for granted how good television, sports broadcasting is. And in the 60s, if you would have kind of seen the Olympic Games, broadcast on television, it would have been kind of crappy kind of coverage, very kind of static. So to see this in the cinema, in cinema scope, in beautiful color, and you have a camera that's going all over the place with the coverage of the Olympics, it must have been mind blowing to see it at the time. And that kind of really kind of made it strike for me, and made me kind of realize actually it's kind of a huge piece of cinema that is in the spirit of the Olympic Games, of kind of bringing people in and seeing it in all its glory.
Two figures are approaching an oil well. One of them holds a lighted torch. What are they up to? Are they going to rekindle the blaze? Has life without fire become unbearable for them? Others, seized by madness, follow suit. Now they are content. Now there is something to extinguish again.
Again, sort of continuing kind of my kind of looking out for impressionistic kind of documentaries, Lessons of Darkness by Werner Herzog. It is kind of about the oil wells that were put on fire at the end of kind of Gulf War in Kuwait. But the documentary doesn't really explicitly tell you that. It's just these kind of very alien kind of shots of just looking at things, and it's almost kind of done in this way of you're being presented these images almost out of context and with so little commentary to them that you have to kind of just absorb these kind of moments and how sort of strange they are, how alien some of these images are, but they're on our planet really. And you occasionally have this very dry voiceover from Werner Herzog in it that's kind of is not really kind of telling you too much at all, really, and it's more just adding to the atmosphere of it. It's very deliberately done. There's maybe you get these helicopter shots kind of around, you know, the landscape that maybe kind of go on for slightly too long, but it's fascinating just how you're looking at these extraordinary images, but the way that they've been pieced together is kind of creating their own atmosphere that is kind of, yeah, like I said before, so alien and unusual, and you're left to make up your own impression of the events.